Hello everyone and welcome to this week's behind the scenes devlog video, and this week I'm going to be doing some more work on the task system, and I'll also be adding a few new species into the game. So first up this week I'm going to be working on locked tasks, which are tasks like this which you can't start until you've unlocked them by completing another task. And the idea of this isn't to limit what the player can do, it's more to make it easier for them to see what they can actually do, because the only tasks that are going to be locked are ones that you wouldn't be able to do anyway because you haven't yet unlocked the species that you need for that task, or maybe you need a certain biome and you haven't got that yet. So instead of you having a whole load of pages of tasks, most of which you can't do, you now just will be able to concentrate on like 6 or 7 tasks, and then the other tasks will unlock when you can actually do them. Next up, I've been allowing for tasks to unlock more than just one other task, so you can see that the watching grass grow task now unlocks 3 tasks, and instead of listing out all 3 names, it just shortens that and says unlocks 3 tasks. But if it was just unlocking one task, like the sheepish task, it does actually name the task. Also, now when you complete a task, so let me just complete this task, when I claim the rewards and unlock the tasks, I now get a notification that says that I've unlocked some new tasks. Just been making the locked tasks look a bit nicer, as you can see here, and also when you click on them, instead of getting the task information, you now just get a message telling you that the task isn't available yet. And I think I'm also going to add the names of the other tasks that you have to complete in order to unlock this task. It is 4 o'clock now, and I've just finished off the final thing to do with the locked tasks, which is that when you unlock some tasks and the task GUI is open, the tasks that get unlocked need to have their UI updated, and you can see that that does indeed happen. So I just wanted to add one more very quick update to the task system, and that is that when you complete a task now, you'll notice that the task icon on the toolbar is pulsating to indicate that there's a task that you can claim the rewards for. And in the task interface, that task itself will actually be pulsating. Also, now when you claim the rewards, you'll notice that any tasks that get unlocked will do a little bounce animation, which you might have seen there. And also, if it unlocks a new item in one of the shops, you'll see the icon for the shop pulsating to indicate that there's a new item in there. Just finished work on the chicken and chick models, so now I'm going to start adding them into the game. So as you can see, I've now got a load of chickens bouncing around in the world, and they're looking pretty cute. I'm pretty happy with these, but I would like to give them their own movement instead of them just using the same movement as the sheep, which is what they're doing at the moment. I'd quite like to have them kind of pecking around, bobbing their head around and stuff like that, so that's what I'm going to have a go at doing right now. So I've just quickly created a new type of movement for the chickens, so you can see them here bobbing around, looking a little bit more like chickens, and I'm pretty happy with it for now. I'll definitely improve on it in the future at some point and have them stop and peck the ground and stuff like that, but that's good enough for now, and it's getting late anyway, so I'm going to get to bed now. This morning I've been planning out what the first few tasks in Equilinox are going to be like, and basically how the progression is going to be like at the beginning of the game. And for that I've realised that I need a few more models, so I've started creating the first of those now, which is the little rocks model, and basically for the rest of the day I'm just going to be making some new models. So as you can see, the rocks are now in the game, and these are just going to be used to make the environment better for certain species. So some species are going to prefer to have a more rocky environment, and so obviously adding stones or rocks to their surroundings will make them happier and make them live longer and stuff like that. So that's that done. Next I'm going to work on a new model, which is going to be for the fern species. I have finally now finished work on the fern species. This took me about 3 hours. I had about 5 goes at it and it kept going wrong, but I finally come up with a model that I'm pretty happy with, and I'm just about to start adding them into the game. So the ferns are now in the game and they're looking pretty nice. I'm not too sure about the colour, I might change that and make it a bit lighter, but apart from that I'm pretty satisfied with them. And these are mostly going to be used to spread the forest biome. Just working on the next model now, which is meant to be some wheat. It's a little bit tricky to do that in low poly, but I think this is good enough for now. Just finished creating the various different stages of growth for the wheat plant, and I have just added the wheat into the game. So you can see a little field of wheat here, and it's looking pretty nice. Doesn't look exactly like wheat, but I think it's acceptable for now. And next up, I'm going to allow the chickens to actually eat the seeds off the top of the wheat. So that will be pretty cool. So as you will see in a second here, the chickens can now eat the seeds off the top of the wheat, and you can see that when it does that, the seeds disappear, and in a bit they'll grow back again. And obviously when the chicken eats the seeds, it gets some of its hunger back. And they're still just using the same eating animation as the sheep at the moment, which I will change. I'll make it look like they're pecking at the wheat. But for now, this is all working nicely. Also, it means that if I try and put chickens in an area which doesn't have wheat, they will actually die off very quickly. So it does mean that you have to make sure that in an area where you have chickens, you also have wheat for them to eat. So in a second, these chickens are going to all starve. This evening I've been doing a bit of cooking, and I wanted to try and make a quiche today because it's not something that I've done before, and I think it went pretty well. I mean, I haven't tasted it yet, so it might be horrific, but it looks alright. So for the rest of this week, I'm just going to be working on this week's tutorial, and that should hopefully be going out on Sunday evening. And then next week, I'll be back to work on Equilinox and hopefully adding a whole load of new species into the game, which I will be able to show you in next week's devlog video. But for this week, that is going to be it. So thank you guys very much for watching this video. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you all next time.